really liked the Beatles when I was growing up. There were songs that I wouldn't dare do in front of anybody.
Someone broke into our apartment and stole only the Les Paul.
A lot of people need to go in front of a teacher to make sure they practice. I didn't need that. We're having a barbecue this weekend. We're over COVID. All of our friends have been vaccinated, so we've decided we're going to go ahead and have a party. I first picked up a guitar when I was age 18, senior year in high school. A $10 piece of junk acoustic guitar. One of my friends showed me a few chords, and my first song that I learned was Take It Easy by the Eagles, which, was like a rite of passage for an acoustic guitar strummer. Somehow I found my way into what started as a garage band. By then I had picked up an electric guitar, a cheap one. My parents weren't big on the idea of me playing. And we actually started playing at high schools and colleges at dances. And we developed quite a repertoire of songs. At one point, I had a 100-watt Marshall amp. My ears are still ringing. Okay. Well, presently I'm retired. Prior to that, I was a corporate executive for a large Fortune 100 company. Worked there for over just about 30 years. When I retired, I decided I was going to pursue music, which is something I always wanted to do but never had the time to. And so since I've retired, I've really focused on becoming a better musician.
Listen to him every day. Doesn't believe me when I tell him he's good. He thinks we're just saying that just because we have to. It's not the truth. He has really gotten better ever since he started playing. I mean, he practices every day for 4 hours. Just listen to him right now. If he's not a master, he's pretty dang close. So, it's just my opinion. But it's also nice. Every now and again, I get to break out the trumpet and play with him. I get to go have some fun. But really, it's Dad's show. I'm just along for the ride.
This is a PRS John Mayer Silver Star guitar. It's really a Stratocaster. John Mayer plays Fender, or did play Fender Strats exclusively for years. But he had a falling out with Fender because he felt their quality was uneven. He approached PRS to see if they wanted to do something. Basically, this is all spec to what he wanted. It's good. After college, we moved from Long Island, New York out to California. That ended the band. I met up with a few guys here. We played a couple of gigs. And that was about it. And that ended by age 22 or 23. In the meantime, I started my professional career in finance and accounting, and lo and behold, I just put down the guitar, and for the next 30 or something years.
I'm supposed to put water in this?
Yeah, I think so. You're the one with the recipe.
Oh. So we got married in 1979, and Carl came to the relationship with a Les Paul custom guitar, a 1968 that he had purchased in New York City. Someone broke into our apartment and stole only the Les Paul. So our insurance company, because we didn't have an actual picture of it, said, well, we don't think it's really worth all that much. Instead of paying us the replacement value, they gave us $750, which Carl then had to buy a Les Paul Standard. He kept that for 30 years. Then when he decided he was going to retire, he started to play it again and decided it was too heavy. Some investment banker in New York paid him $2,200 for it. So that started Carl on the, okay, I think I'll try one of these kinds of guitars. So now we have more guitars than one person can play. But it's okay. He likes it. Keeps him off the streets and out of trouble.
But I'm going to get it to be a hollow body, and I'm going to take out the tele pickups and have them put in pickups that'll make it sound jazzier. I like the feel of a Telecaster neck, certain types of necks. Probably going to go that way. Anyway.
And I don't have any diamonds. I expected an upgrade. After 40 years, though, I've given up. That's it.
But you still have the guy.
Well, yeah, I do have the musician, which nobody else has.
Are you going to have a tip jar this Saturday?
No. After 30 years, I decided, well, I need something to do. I finally got the time to put into practice. So I decided I would go take music lessons. For about a year and a half, I went every week to the guitar shop in Laguna Beach, took lessons from a great teacher whose name was Peter Dobson. Peter had similar interests to mine, which is why we hooked up. He liked Robin Ford and Larry Carlton, and he liked the Allman Brothers, and he's just an all-around great guitarist. It's the only thing he's ever done in his life is play. Understood what I didn't know, understood what I knew, and then decided that I needed to go another way. So I found TrueFire.com website, and they were in their infancy when I started with them. They had what I needed, which was a tab for all of the solos that they were doing, video replays and stop action and looping and everything that you needed to get things under your fingers. I hesitate to think of how much money I've spent, but it's a lot cheaper than going for a lesson with a real live body, a lot cheaper. Okay, there's going to be one person who maybe will be playing like one or two songs and singing. So we'll see whether they're up to it or not. So I said I have an amp and everything, so all you have to do is bring your guitar if you want, or you can even use one of mine. And I gotta check the PA out in a second. That's the last thing to do. As a kid growing up, I used to like the Allman Brothers, I liked Joe Walsh, the Rolling Stones, the Three Kings, B.B., Freddie, and Albert King, Albert Collins. I just love all that stuff. Later on in life, I came to appreciate the Beatles, who I didn't appreciate early in life when I was growing up. We did block parties during COVID where I would play from the garage out to the street, and people would come and socially distanced 6 feet apart, and I did that about 3 or 4 times, and it was a big hit.
1.5 ounces of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of homemade cherry simple syrup, 1 ounce of dry curacao, oops, and spill it everywhere, 2 ounces of tequila of choice, add some ice, shake. Yeah, that looks good. My signature cocktail, a lemon cherry margarita.
This forces me to get out my repertoire of songs. I've created backing tracks. I play over the rhythm and the drums and everything, and I create those myself. List of all sorts of stuff that's on these tracks. These are all my tracks. I've learned a lot about layering in different instruments to make things sound good and fill out sound. I've learned tons by doing this. And it's also helped my timing big time, because when I first started using a looper, which was about 7 years ago, I couldn't create the loop. I couldn't get my foot down on time. So what number was that? To be honest, what motivates me to practice every day is my love of music and my desire to want to learn new things and keep adding to my toolbox, if you will. That's what drives me. The rest of it is somewhat secondary. But what I've found over the years is, as I've gotten better, songs that were out of reach, say 5 years ago, are now within the realm of possibility. There were songs that I wouldn't dare do in front of anybody for fear that I'd screw them all up, and then there are the songs that I feel very confident in doing. And usually when I play, I try to have mostly confident in doing songs, but I do like to throw in a few that I'm borderline on to see how it goes and how I react if I do make a small mistake. Ta-da!
okay. Sounds fine. Well, low-key, but it's cool. Background music is
I can
great.
do, we're gonna go to a rock and roll a little later.
No, it's sounding fine. You're doing well.
It's been a journey since I've retired. I play up to, I'm gonna say in the morning, usually 3 to 4 hours, different things.
I wake up in the morning at 5:30 to music.
He practices every day for 4 hours.
It's all day, every day.
I don't spend more than 10 or 15 minutes on any one thing.
It's always good to hear.
And then I decide whether A, either I've mastered it, or B, if you haven't within 25 days, you can take it out and then you bring it back 6 months later after you keep going with something else that you've had. That approach has worked for me. I don't know that that'll work for everybody, but it worked for me. A lot of people think, oh, I want to be in a band and I want to play in front of people and I want everybody to applaud. But unless the deep love for music is there, you're not going to get there. And that's my words of wisdom. For anybody who's thinking about playing, they better love music because it's going to take a lot of work by yourself to get better. You'll get better when you play with a band, but you can't walk in there and expect to improve while you're rehearsing with a band. You've got to be ready to go. You better love music because you're going to do a lot of practicing on your own. I haven't made up a name for it yet. I'm hoping somebody wants to write vocals to it at some point, and then we'll assign a name to it. Right now it's Carl Song number 3.